We will have to do this within the current rules. There is no time to change the rules in 2 months. And there has been also discussion today about the situation of Latin America. It is clear that the tensions in the region are mounting, and there is clear that there has been a lack of leadership. We find Alicia Bárcena's view totally on point, what she shared today with us, that the main problem has been the inequality, and economies that have been growing in the past, but the problems of inequality have not been solved at a speed that is reasonable and tolerable, and that's why we see so much tension today. On the good side, I want to say that I think Argentina is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to bring stability to the region in a context of a scarce leadership. My president, Alberto Fernandez, is bringing great leadership. He is bringing great leadership to the country and to the region. On top of that, he's a remarkable goalkeeper in football. You want to keep that in mind. And we're trying to do things in a way that work, very much aligned with the premises that have been put on the table today here. We've been discussing these issues for many years with the help of remarkable economists all over the world. We want to have an economic system that is inclusive, but not just inclusive, that is also dynamic. Dynamism is important because there are not enough resources in order to resolve all the problems just by redistributing. There has to be shared growth. And for shared growth, there have to be appropriate conditions. There has to be stability. So in a context of very, very tight constraints, we decided to redefine priorities, and it has a work for changing the mood. Of course, much more needs to be done. We need to restore the consistency of the system. We need to resolve the problem of unsustainable debt. Otherwise, any effort would be ineffective, and that's why we have to do it fast. And the chances of succeeding are higher if the positions of the different stakeholders are constructive. We are doing our best to act in the most constructive way given the constraints we face. We do see a constructive approach from the IMF, actually very constructive, and we're happy with that. That is not enough, we need more. There are some ministers of finance here who are for countries that constitute the Paris Club. That's also a problem that we need to address. Argentina is going to pay 9% interest rate on debt from 2020 to 2021 with the Paris Club, and that is just not only unsustainable, but it marks a very bad anchor for the rest of the restructuring. It is definitely not pari passu with what we are intending to do. So we may understand the complexities of the Paris Club, but if we are going to do things right, we need cooperation there as well, and we need cooperation from the bondholders. Joe Stiglitz said something earlier that immediately came to my mind out of the many things that Joe said that have come to my mind over the last years and penetrated into my mind. But it was this issue that the same investment funds that are bondholders, they have business models that are focused on very narrow views of the world. Even the same universities in which we learn and we create knowledge are invested into these funds. And then when we enter into situations of unsustainable debt, what we see is a divergence of narratives, of languages, of mind frameworks and frameworks of analysis in general. And that makes communication sometimes not as constructive as it should be. So I hope we can also educate the world. This is why I think this kind of meeting is so useful, so helpful for the world, and it's historical. And I hope we can all work together on creating a different kind of mentality that help Argentina today, but the world in general, to create a more sustainable environment that work not just for the privileged, but for the many. Thank you.